two things. One is very clearly we were speaking the same language. When I was talking about the consumer and saying like, when we were talking about celebrate with Asian paints, we're talking about at most festivals Indians come home. The emotion of coming home is something that is universal. It's not that it's only Indian, but to capture it with the Indian ethos, so on and so forth. So whether it was with the Pongal, we did that with the Durga Puja, then we did that with Diwali. And I think the rapport that was there where he got it, yes, he was very quick in his turnarounds. The other thing which I must also, he really thought and owned the brand. So it's like, for example, and he had this habit which, and I'm not an early morning person, which he was. Those days were the days of landline. If your landline is ringing at 7 a.m. in the morning, it is Piyush Pandey with a new idea. So one day it's ringing and he says, partner, ab mera idea suno. And he had this idea of shooting in Pushkar for, by then Mera Wala Cream had become very famous. But he had this idea of Mera Wala Blue, where this lady finds this turban in Pushkar and she wants that as the shade in her house. He says, my problem is Pushkar is 2 days hence and that set, we can't ever build again. So we have to approve today and get filmmaker tomorrow and shoot in the next 2 days, which is all we did. From the time he spun out the idea to the film, it was exactly 7 days. Wow. But this was, because he was thinking the brand. He owned it. I mean, the best example is Fevicol. I always have said the best product management team on Fevicol are the two Pandey brothers. Because they reject far, far more work than we have ever rejected. Because until it meets their standard, it's not going to come to us. And I mean, this ownership for Piyush is, I think, possibly the only creative where I have approved ads on the phone. We were doing this again, Mera Wala Blue, when India, Sri Lanka, we lost to Sri Lanka. If we changed Mera Wala Blue to Unka Wala Blue and said, well played Sri Lanka, so on. I mean, in the night, I'm sitting in somewhere, he got a Sri Lankan jersey from Arun Lal in Calcutta, shot it, and next morning it was out.
Wow.
So I think his ownership of the brand, his connectedness, and his understanding of what you were trying to say of the consumer that we were talking to, and his responsiveness, I think all three made him like a, live wire.